I think it's time to go back to Tartiflette.
Okay, so I recognize the fact that I made a mistake. So let me try again with this one. I'm going to try and make it as close to the actual dish as I possibly can, using ingredients that I could find in my local supermarket. Now, as you can see, I'm using a medley of different colored potatoes here. They're basically bite-sized, and I just cut them all in half. And I'm just going to put them in some salted water and boil them until they're nice and tender. This took about 20 minutes, but make sure you do the fork test and make sure that it goes through nice and clean. And there we go, perfect potatoes. And I'm just going to drain them and let them cool off a bit while we get our bacon ready. Now, in my last video, this was probably the only part that I actually got right. So I'm just going to cut up some bacon here, and I'm also going to julienne an onion, a white onion. You can use any type of onions you want. I like to use white onions for this. I'm going to cook up my bacon, and when it starts to brown, I'm going to toss in my onions. And I'm just going to cook this until the onions become nice and soft. You do not want to caramelize them, you just kind of want them sauteed. And as they're cooking, go ahead and put in a little bit of garlic. That's my own little added thing. Please don't shoot me. I'm sorry. I can't help myself with the garlic. And then also, to deglaze the pan, go ahead and throw in a little bit of white wine. This also adds some extra flavor and a great aroma in the kitchen, let me tell you. And then after that's done, I'm going to make a sour cream sauce. Since I don't have creme fraiche at my local supermarket, I figured this was the next best thing. And also, I looked at some other tartiflette recipes, and I see that some people actually do make a cream sauce to go with it. So as I'm making my cream sauce, I'm just going to toss in some butter and some flour to make a roux. I'm going to add my milk, or you could use cream if you'd like. I'd rather use milk, to be honest with you. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I get a nice thick sauce here. And just to make sure that it's to your desired thickness, go ahead, dip a spoon in there, and run your finger through the back just to make sure that it's the consistency that you want. Now I'm going to add my sour cream, or creme fraiche, and then I'm just going to whisk that in there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of Dijon mustard for an added tang. That's optional, you don't have to do that. Some salt, some pepper, and then that's it. Your sauce is done. Now it's time to assemble the tartiflette. Now I'm going to toss in my potatoes, half of them, not all of them. And then I'm going to season them with some salt and pepper. And then I'm going to add my bacon and onion mixture on top of that. Be sure to spread it out completely. And then we can add the rest of the potatoes on top. I'm just going to spread them out a little bit so that they're nice and even. And I'm going to season them with a little bit more salt and pepper, and then pour my cream sauce on top. And I'm going to spread that out a little bit too, just to make sure that every crevice of this casserole is completely sauced. And for a little bit of added flavor, I'm going to top this with some fresh thyme. Now, let's talk about cheese. Now, again, I do not have access to Revolution cheese, but I did some research to make sure that there were substitutes I could use, and I could either use Brie or Camembert. I went with Brie. I know it doesn't have the exact same flavor as Revolution cheese, but I feel like this did its job very, very well. So I'm just going to cut this big triangle in half, mainly because my store didn't have the wheel of cheese. This is going to be placed right on top, and then I'm going to put a little bit more fresh thyme, and this is going to go in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for 1 hour. And after 1 hour, it should look like this, and it's going to be very, very hot. Let this cool off for about 10 or 15 minutes before digging in. And I hope everybody is happy with this. I'm happy with it. I'm not nervous about the comment section at all. Also, I'm starving. Let's eat. So, I think it's very safe to say that this is very delicious, and also even safer to say that it's a lot better than the last one I made. I will say the other one did come out very, very good, but obviously I did a lot of things wrong. I roasted the potatoes instead of boiling them. I topped it with Swiss cheese and breadcrumbs. It was just a big mess. But anyway, this one is a lot better, and I hope everybody enjoyed this one. Alright guys, I'm off to make my next video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.